This is the walkthrough video for PCTC 2024-2025 Round 1 Navigator Question 3 Saturdays. So in this question, we essentially need to figure out how many Saturdays there are in a given year. So firstly, we need to input the first day of the year. So first day is going to be our first input. Our next input is whether it's leap year this year or not. Okay, so now we should figure out how many days there are in this given year. So if leap is equal to yes, then total days is going to be equal to 366. Otherwise, the amount of days in this year is going to be 365. Okay, so now we need to figure out how many weeks there are in this year. So we can divide 365 by 7 to figure out how many weeks there are. Or I guess not 365, days. Now there's a slightly better way of doing this, which is using the divmod command in Python. So you enter the first thing you want to divide, which is days, and then the number you want to divide by, which is 7, because there are 7 days in a week. And then this command will spit out two numbers. The first number is how many times 7 goes into days as a whole number, right? And then the second number is the remainder of that division. So the first number represents the amount of weeks in the year, and the second number represents the amount of extra days in the year. So we can just do that. And that kind of does essentially integer division, which is that, and this thing for us, both in one single command. So it's nice and simple. Okay, so we know that each week has a Saturday in it, right? So the answer is going to be equal to the amount of weeks there are, plus potentially an extra Saturday based on extra days. So we need to determine whether or not we actually want to add that extra Saturday. So how do we do that? Well, firstly, let's copy paste this like that. And this is useful to us because this is the format in which we get our first day input. So let's just split that off into a list so that we can actually use it. So we're just going to split it off on a space/space. So each of these things will be removed and replaced as it turns into a list. And this is we can call it days of week. And also, just to make it easier, let's shove Saturday to the end, and therefore Sunday should go to the beginning. And the reason we're doing this is because we know that we can then count, basically, we can look at the index of whatever our input was, our input day, and then figure out how many extra days there are until the next Saturday. So we can do days of week dot index the first day input, and then essentially 7 minus that is going to be equal to how many extra days we need in the year to hit the next Saturday. So essentially, if this number is smaller than or equal to the amount of extra days in the year from line 9 up here, then we know we are going to hit that extra Saturday, and so the answer should increase by 1. And then we can just print off the answer. So there's a bit of a funky logic in this question, and you might need to do a bit of thinking about it, but I thought this was the slickest way to do it.